So here's the new engine. We're about to drain the oil and see how it looks. Hopefully it looks as good as the last one. The last one was definitely dark and burnt like it was used oil, but looked really good. Hopefully this one looks the same. Oh, that's not going to be good. That is water. A lot of water. A whole lot of water. And here comes the oil. Oh, that doesn't even look like oil. That just looks like mud. Clumpy, nasty mud. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is disgusting. And this is my new JDM engine. Yay. All right. Yeah. Let's do some research. All right, guys, so I'm obviously not real happy about this JDM engine with the water in it, but we're going to try to make it work. I've done a little bit of online research. I've talked to one of my buddies. I called the owner of JDM of Fairfield. He told me that it's not that uncommon to have water inside of your engine. He did offer me a return with a restocking fee, or he did offer me an exchange, but I've already looked through the engines he has left until his next shipment, and there's nothing I would be able to use. So I'm going to try to move forward with this one and see what happens. I've already rinsed it out with kerosene to try to get rid of some of that sludge buildup that looked like mud, and topped it off with some fresh oil. I'm gonna run some red marble lube through it, and I'm gonna try to flush this oil a few times after I do get it started, hopefully get it started. So stay tuned. We're gonna build this engine up and see what happens. All right, guys, just a little update. This is how I'm torquing down the timing gears. It seems to work pretty well. I seen this on a YouTube video, and it's definitely worked pretty well for me. Clicked off at 70, and then I just went ahead and bumped them up to 90 just to be safe. 70 felt a little looser than some of the other ones did. So the this is the USDM timing gear now, and it looks exactly the same as the JDM one that came off this engine, except for in the back there was a couple extra notches where it picks up for the timing. So that's why you have to change the timing gear on this one. I'll also have to change the sensors and the crank gear, which I have not done yet. But where it picks up on the timing, the teeth are a little bit different on that. So that's why you have to do that. So far, this one's going together pretty well. The compression checked out 150 on almost every cylinder. It was just above 150. So that's a little bit lower compression than the last engine we had, but this one seems to be doing better so far, even considering it had probably 1.5 gallons, maybe even 2 gallons of water in it. So we'll see how this goes. Hey guys, I've got both the USDM and the JDM intakes sitting side by side right here. I've already removed the wire harness off of the JDM one because I don't need it. I was actually going to try to reuse the JDM intake and use it as on my USDM, but I don't believe I'm going to be able to do that at this time. I might look into it a little bit more and see if I'm able to do that later. The only way I can think I could make that work right now is by reusing the JDM injectors, and I'm not sure if they're the same or if they're reusable. But this kind has the common rail on the bottom and is bolted up right here, and then the injectors are in by this cap. I actually tried to remove one of the caps and try to remove the injector. It wasn't easy to do. But anyway, we'll go over the few differences, and I'm probably for now just going to stick with my USDM intake because I know that should work, and see if this engine runs and is healthy. And then later on we might be able to swap it over to something different, or we might be able to do a delete kit. This is called a TGV. I'm not sure what that stands for, but what it is there's a butterfly valve in there that opens and closes. I'm assuming to recirculate exhaust gas fumes. It might be some sort of choke. I'm not even 100% sure exactly what it does, but I do know that you do not need it, and they sell a delete kit online. It's a couple $100 for the delete kit, so that's why I haven't done it yet. I was actually hoping to make this JDM one work, because it does not have that. It is just wide open all the way through, all the way up to the intake, where this one has to go through this check valve where you can see a huge layer of gunk has just built up in it. It's a valve that could potentially go bad at some point in time. So I don't know what we're going to do yet. I'd like to figure out a way to remove that, or to do away with it without spending a lot of money. But the bolt patterns are a lot different for the common rails, so I won't be able to reuse my injectors on the JDM one. I haven't figured out a way to make that work yet. I have thought about just ordering a delete kit online, but I'm not going to wait for that now. I'll probably go ahead and just build it up to make sure this is okay. But so far the differences are the injectors. The throttle body was a little different. On the idle air control valve were definitely different. But that's the big difference between them. So I'd like to figure out a way to make it work, but I'm not sure yet. So if you have any ideas, or you know anybody that's done it, hit me up, send me a message. All right, so I tried to clean up on the inside the best I could. It's not real great, but it's a little bit better than it was. I just used some brake cleaner because I had that laying around, and I went ahead and cleaned the gasket area. Make sure the gasket area is really clean on both the engine and the intake. That's probably the most important thing. You definitely don't want to have a leak there. You'll have a misfire. You won't run right. You'll stutter, spit. No good. All right, guys, it's been a long couple of weeks. It's time to start this JDM engine up and see if this swap works or not. This is the engine that was waterlogged and had a couple of gallons of water in it, and lots of nastiness. It's been cleaned out with kerosene. I believe everything's ready to start. There's a lot of stuff not hooked up just in case I have to pull it again. But I think everything that needs to be hooked up is hooked up. I've cranked it over a few times to build up oil pressure. Made sure my oil pressure is good. It is. And I've sprayed fogging oil in the cylinder bores. I put old spark plugs in it for now. I've got some uranium spark plugs, but I haven't put those in yet because I know this is going to burn some oil. I sprayed fogging oil from my old boat in the cylinder bores to try to lubricate it since it hasn't been started up in so long. So let's see what happens. Let's do it. Burned like a kitten, but smoking like I thought. All right, guys, I'm a little bit happier now. It's been about 45 minutes since my first start video that I took. So all that smoke was going on. I shut it off, let it cool off a little bit, went back and double checked my coolant, topped everything off a little bit, started it up again, let it come up to temperature. So this is my third time starting it now. and we're idling smooth. Everything's running pretty good. The engine seems to be running pretty good right now. I don't have all that smoke coming out now, so I do believe that was just burn off from the things I did to try to protect the engine for the first startup. So there's still a possibility of some scored bearings or something inside internally that we won't know about, possibly even some ringland failure or something, but as of right now, everything looks good. I don't see anything wrong with this engine. I think this is going to be one we're going to keep. I've got a warranty on this for 30 days. I think I've burned about a week and a half of that trying to get it ready with 2 different engines. So your warranty doesn't reset when you get another engine. They give you another one. You still got that same 30 days since the original purchase. So I'm going to try to restart this engine every single day. I'm going to try to get it out and put a few miles on it. Obviously don't have, it's not licensed. I don't have a title for it or anything yet, so I can't legally drive it, but we're going to, you know, maybe try to just get out a little bit. But I'm going to try to run it a little bit, make sure we don't have any failures. So far this JDM engine looks like it's working great. It's my second one. This one did not make me feel real comfortable right off the bat with all that water in it. But right now I feel pretty good about it. We're going to flush the oil a few times, go through a few heat cycles, and try to save this engine. That's what I'm trying to do. So I hope you guys stay tuned, subscribe. I'm going to post a lot more videos. And right now there's no smoke blowing out of it. Everything seems to be working pretty good. Round it up a little bit.